You're listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast, a podcast for women navigating divorce who want more. More clarity, more money, more peace, more power. I'm Megan Norris, divorce expert, coach, and the friend who's going to tell you the truth. Not just about what's happening right now, but about what's possible for you next. This podcast is about making decisions you trust, building a life you actually want, and becoming the version of you that no one saw coming. Whether you're in it, ending it, or already out, you're in the right place. You're about to become the CEO of your life and create one so good it doesn't make sense. Let's get started. Oh, hi. Welcome back to the podcast. Happy Monday. I'm recording this on a Thursday, and it's been 2 weeks since I've recorded a podcast. I batched them before September started because I knew September was going to be crunchy. And then indeed it turned into chaos. I was right. So between last week when you heard me and this week, I've lived a 3-week portal of chaos. And I'm so happy to be on the other side of that. I had a water leak in my bedroom. If you don't follow me on Instagram or you missed those stories, I looked up one night and there was water pouring from my ceiling right over my, like behind my desk where I work. And it was 10 o'clock at night on Labor Day. And the emergency service that I have a membership to was like, we're not taking calls tonight. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? But what? What? So it was a whole moment of surrender and facing my worst fear as a homeowner and a single mom, which is to have water coming to my house and not know how to stop it and not be able to find anybody to help me. That's it, right? I'm sure I'm not alone in this worst fear. And it's my responsibility because I freaking own the home. And it all worked out. And I'm not going to go into the whole story here, but it did all work out. But that happened. And then there was an animal in my attic because we had to leave the attic door down because the attic was wet from the water leak. So a critter got up there. And then my car was leaking fluid. And then the garage door fell off its hinges and was like half off, almost falling onto a car, almost falling onto a person, and had to be left up for 2 days because it was over a weekend. Thank God they were able to put that back on its on its roller on the track, and that resolved itself. But it has just been a series of cluster chaotic messes. And one of the things that I appreciate about chaos, well, first it's awful. No one loves living through that stuff, me included. But what I appreciate about the chaos is that as awful as it was getting into it, right? And like having to surrender, like whatever plan I had over the last 2 weeks, the universe had different plans for me. And I was sleeping on my couch for 3 or 4 nights while the water leak repairs happened. And my room, the contractor was like, we can paint your room while we're at it. Cause I was halfway through the paint job on my own. Would have taken me months, and they just did it in a day. So I'm sleeping on my couch. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy managing this chaos that I don't have time to worry about all the things that I would normally be overthinking and concerning myself with. I really had to let go and just be very present in the moment and do, kind of the bare minimum status quo for everything of my business and my health and my house and my kids, and just get through it. And I did. And I appreciate the intense reprioritizing that happens through those chaotic moments. You really see what's important and what's not. And sometimes we get to we get invited to let go of things that we really don't need to be doing or continue doing, or things that are not aligned anymore. And we can let them go because we're forced to. And then we see, oh, hey, we're safe to let these things go. Anyway, all of those things have since resolved themselves or have been resolved. And I'm so thankful for that. That is truly too good to be true, or so good it doesn't make sense, as I say, because I shouldn't already, I like not within 2 weeks, I had the drywall repaired, my room painted and kind of redecorated. And, everything should not have been resolved as quickly as it was, but it did. And I'm grateful for that. Thankful for that. And I'm probably not the only one because we've been in a 2-week eclipse portal. Things have been a little haywire for all of my clients. And I just wrapped up a Telegram VIP offer that I had from the summer, and it was so fun, but everyone's definitely a little agitated and has been for the last several weeks. By the time you're listening to this, actually, this is going to come out on the day of the last eclipse. So you're like, this is the final moment, the closing of that portal. If that means anything to you, then it's going to be hopefully a significant shift in the energy. Just a lot of things happening personally, globally. It's an intense time to be alive. But today we're going to talk about the hidden secrets, the hidden divorce secrets that no lawyer, therapist, or divorce guru is going to tell you, but that are going to help you create a life so good it doesn't make sense. Let's talk about these things. Number one, getting divorced isn't the same thing as being divorced. This identity shift is ignored by everyone, but me. You have to get out of the group project mentality of getting divorced. What happens is, especially if your divorce went on for a long time, longer, but I would say any amount of time, but certainly the longer it goes on, the more anchored in you get into this identity of someone who is getting divorced. And this person is, their life is on hold. They're kind of waiting and seeing. It's very reactive because you have to be when you're in that group project. You make the decision, you take the action, your attorney does the thing on your behalf, and then you have to wait for a response. There is a rhythm to getting divorced. There's a lot of wait and see, and it's easy to get locked into that identity and take it right on with you after your divorce and continue to live in this space of transition. Like everything's on pause and you're just waiting to see what happens, or waiting for permission, or waiting for things to feel easier, or waiting for things to get better, whatever it is. And it's different than taking steps to embody someone who is done, who is divorced, and who is now operating autonomously without this wait and see rhythm. The rhythm changes. You have a lot more agency to initiate action, and there's way less internal work in management that you have to do because you don't have to wait so much. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you hear me? So if that's you, if you're getting divorced, I want that on your radar. If you're already divorced and you're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be, what is going on? I bet that there are elements of this happening. And I talk more about it inside my program, so I'm not going to go into all of it here, but just your awareness of it is going to help. You are a sovereign being. You don't have to keep waiting. You just got to make a move. And I know it feels complicated because you've been through something that might have felt kind of traumatic. A lot of change happened at once. And now your nervous system and your brain is like, slow your roll. Can we just enjoy this for a minute? Yes, you can. But also I'm going to push you and challenge you to not get in the back seat of your life waiting around, because before you know it, 10 years will have passed and you still will not have written the book, started the business, signed the dream client, gotten the dream contract, the dream job, whatever it is. You're in the middle of a transformation. You might as well go for it now. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, you are addicted to overfunctioning and you call it being responsible. Your security, your safety come from the exhaustion you're experiencing. You are afraid to slow down because of what you'll make it mean about you, or what you're afraid will happen if you do. And I've seen this over and over and over again, not just with women getting divorced, but also women who are married, because I work with clients who aren't necessarily in the divorce process. I work with clients who just want to up-level their life. They're addicted to over-functioning, and they're creating their safety and security in this false sense of control through working themselves to the bone every day because they're afraid to slow down. And they're calling it being responsible, being a good mom, being a good employee, being a good business owner. And it's limiting what's possible for you. And almost every single time, the slowdown is much more about what's going on mentally and emotionally for you than it is necessarily related to the actions that you're taking every day. However, once we get you slowed down, internally, you're able to get some clarity around what you really want, what you really need, where you want to go next, what needs to leave your life, what needs to come into your life. And as long as you're running on the treadmill of overfunctioning, you don't have to face that. And clarity always sounds so dreamy, and we all want it, and sometimes we're looking for it, but a lot of times we're avoiding it because it freaks us out. It's sometimes uncomfortable to have clarity about what it is that we really want and what it is that we no longer want. And this trope of the single mother who's disenfranchised and disempowered and, teetering on lack and poverty and scarcity, this whole idea that it's so hard to be a single mother feeds into this, well, this is just how it has to be. And you're good at it. You thrive, right? Listen, nobody knows this more than me. I love a busy day I can tackle. I mean, not all the time, but I can get behind it. I love a challenge. I love to be able to say I did it all. There's a payoff in overfunctioning. It is your drug of choice, like sugar or heroin. This is your drug of choice, being able to say you did it all, but there's no prize, there's no pot of gold, there's no vision at the end of 365 days of you doing it all. So you got to knock that off. You have to take a hard look at that. And when you do, you're going to see that you have way more agency, autonomy, and space in your life than you are allowing yourself to appreciate, because you are so tied to this identity of someone who overfunctions. It's okay. But don't you want something so good it doesn't make sense? You do, or you wouldn't be here. Okay, the next one. Being a single parent is your greatest asset. It is not an obstacle. I could do a whole podcast episode on custody arrangements, and I will do that, and time sharing and the mindset around that. But no matter how you slice it, no matter what your custody arrangement is, it is for you. It's happening for you. So don't hear me saying that you have to love it. Just because something is expansive for you does not mean that your opinion of it is that you love it. We're not going to gaslight ourselves here. Authenticity is always the secret sauce. Okay. However, even if you hate it, it's still expansive for you. And to believe that it's an obstacle, whether you have full custody and you're telling yourself that it's too hard to have full custody and the life of your dreams, or you have 50-50 custody and you're telling yourself that it's so painful and because you are missing half your kids' lives, and what are you going to do with your time in between there, and you're not sure how to fill it, and it's feeling really empty and void, regardless of which flavor of co-parenting or time sharing you have. It's an asset, not an obstacle. It is forcing you to prioritize strategy over controlling the circumstances or doing more. So if you're parenting full time all the time, then you don't have a lot of extra time to add more things to your to-do list. So you have to prioritize strategy. If you're parenting half the time and you're feeling this kind of empty void space in your life and you're not sure how to fill it, you have to prioritize strategy and vision and desire over the avoidance of feeling whatever you feel when your kids aren't around. You don't need to just fill the time and stay busy. Nothing drives me crazier than a solid Instagram post dedicated to how do you distract yourself from the feeling when your kids are away. Plan a night out with your friends, go to the spa. And I'm like, okay, that's great. That's for somebody, but it is not for you, or you wouldn't be here. I don't want to distract myself from it. I want to go in. I want to go in deep so that I can go through it and come out the other side. Because otherwise, what am I doing here? What's the point of all of this? For me, it's expansion or it's nothing. I want to know. I want to know what I'm capable of. I want to know what's for me. I want to max out my potential. And if doing that requires me to go into the dark place through the feeling and surrender to it so that I can walk through it and figure out what's on the other side, then I'm all in. I'm all in. I don't want to keep kicking the can down the road. I did that. I think I did that my whole life, but I definitely did that in the 20s and 30s decade. I just kept kicking the can down the road. And now it is so repulsive to me. I know exactly when I'm doing it. I cannot stand it. It's like a itchy sweater. I cannot wait to get off of me. As soon as I know that I'm doing it, it's got to go, because I did that, and it's not a fun way to live for me, and probably not for you either. So whatever their time sharing arrangement is, it's an asset, not an obstacle. Asset, not an obstacle. Hidden secret of divorce. Okay, the next one. You don't have to settle for having less money. You're not behind, and your life has not been on hold. All of those thoughts are garbage, and you don't need to bring them with you. I've seen some Instagram posts from an influencer that was getting divorced. Have I talked about this already on the podcast? I bet I have, because it made such an impression on me. She had this whole post about how sad she was that all of her friends' lives had moved on and hers had felt frozen for 2 years while she had a litigious divorce. She had a trial and everything. And I just thought, oh, that makes me feel sad. Like, I felt grief. I felt her grief through that post. It was tangible to me. And it's such an interesting way to look at this transition and transformation. Half of all marriages end in divorce, yet we still treat it like it's this, like it's a disease because it causes dis-ease. We treat it like it's a rare disease that we brought onto ourselves, that's our fault, that ruins a period of our life. And that is a tragic story that we tell ourselves, that we've somehow woven into the fabric of our society and our culture around divorce. I hate it. And it's optional. You can believe whatever you want about this season of your life. That's how powerful you are. What do you want to believe? Okay, next one. There is no substitute for financial sovereignty, including millions of dollars. I'm going to say that one again. There's no substitute for financial sovereignty, including millions of dollars. Many of my clients are millionaires on the other side of divorce. It doesn't solve financial scarcity. Financial sovereignty and abundance is an inside job first and foremost. Now, again, we're going to come back to this idea of authenticity. It does not mean that if you have $2,000 to your name and no job, which I doubt is anyone listening to this, because that's a different conversation for a different target audience. But you can imagine if that was your set of circumstances, Okay. You're not going to love it. It's not your favorite place to be. We don't have to love where we are financially. Okay. In order to appreciate that our safety and security comes from within us first, a refusal to accept anything other than being more than okay. I've got this. And I know that even though I can't see how what I want is going to come to me or how I'm going to figure this out, I always figure it out. You have a 100% success track record of figuring things out. That's how you got here. So this idea that the financial security exists in a certain number in your bank account, in a relationship with somebody else who is wealthy, in a certain divorce settlement, in a certain income, at a certain income level, is the biggest lie that keeps you chasing a circumstance outside of you that can only come to you when you flip that on its head. The abundance you want can only come to you when you're willing to embody it first, without gaslighting and bypassing your opinion about your current circumstances. All right. It's nuanced. I get it, but you are a smart audience and you're sophisticated. You understand what I'm saying. You might want, I'll give you an example. I had a client. I have a client. I'm still working with her. I think her divorce settlement was like $10 million, but there was this other property. There was a dispute over something outside the divorce settlement that she had to litigate. And I don't even think it was in family court. I think it was in the district court. And if she won, she was going to double her net worth from 10 to 20 million. If she lost, obviously she lost $10 million. Now she loses $10 million. Now the scarcity that she felt, because she might not have enough if she only has $10 million. Do you see? It has, and then the shame and the embarrassment that you feel because what the hell that doesn't feel enough. It's so confusing for my clients, for women who have that circumstance. There's so much shame. There's so much scarcity because no one's told them. It has nothing to do with the number. It has to start. It's an inside job. You have to unpack your own scarcity and lack. And you might have $10 million and you might not love that. You might want 20 and you're like, okay, $10 million. Okay, I see it. I appreciate it. I can make peace with this being the circumstance that I have right now. And that my opinion of it is that I don't like it, but it's has nothing to do with the money. The money's a neutral circumstance. I don't love it. I want 20, but I'm okay here. And I've got my back and I will figure it out. That is an inside job. And there is no divorce settlement, no alimony payment, no child support payment, no income level that you will magically reach where you get to outsource your financial sovereignty. This is why billionaires cheat and sometimes lie, because they're in scarcity. It's just never enough. Okay. I'm really passionate about that one because I love money so much. Okay, next one. Your divorce has everything to do with what's possible for you in the future. It is not a reflection of a failed past. The divorce settlement, the legal process, is about dividing the past, but it has no moral judgment tied to it intrinsically. But the fact that you are divorced or getting divorced is not about you having made the wrong decision in the past or messed up or failed at something. It's about what's possible for you in the future. It's a portal for manifesting your dream life, not a setback. All adversity is a portal. It's an invitation. It's a fork in the road. Are we going to be set back or are we going to be propelled forward? All adversity asks that question. And everyone gets to choose for their own. Many of you likely have exes that feel like they're going to choose the setback option. Fine. It is everyone's sovereign choice to decide what is going to be for them. I want to urge you to choose that this is about possibility and transformation more than it's about being set back, held back because a relationship was done. That's not easy to do because our culture is feeding you this narrative, and it's woven through all the messaging most of the time in between the lines that, yeah, this is bad. But you're going to make the best of it. Nope. You can't be. Extraordinary results are never going to come from that mindset. Never. Okay. Is this the last one? Nope, it's not. I got two more. Your kids don't need you to make them okay. They need to see you thrive so that they know how. This one is so liberating when you realize that not only do you not have the responsibility of forcing your children to be okay, you actually don't have that power anyway. So the more you fixate on them and you try to fix it and you abandon yourself in the process, guess what they're learning what to do? They're learning to self-abandon to try to make somebody else okay. That's what you're modeling for them. So you can be the parent you want to be without energetically trying to overfunction emotionally for them to make them feel differently than they feel. If you want them to thrive, you need to take care of your own side of the street. Stop hesitating. Stop putting it off. The hesitation, it kills me. I don't care what you do. Get into therapy. I mean, I want you to come work with me because you're amazing. But whatever it is that you do, make a move and do it, because you have to take the garbage in your own life out. The emotional garbage, the energetic garbage, the mental garbage, the stuff that's cluttering your mind and holding you back from living your best life. You start taking care of that, and they will see your transformation, and you will never have to say a word. It will be as if you've had a magic wand and you've just abracadabraed, and one day they're going to say something and you're going to say, what? Wait, what? I had one of my kids once say, Mom, I just love my life so much I wouldn't change a thing. And he was so present in the moment when he said that to me. And it wasn't about like, nothing, there was no context, right? He wasn't hanging on to divorce being this horrible thing that happened to his family. He was just present in the moment, loving his life. Like something shifted and he was like really able to fall in love with his life because we had a circumstances that fit him better. And I could never have forced that moment. I couldn't have convinced him that that was true. He had to come to it on his own. I just took my hands off the wheel of trying to control it. Okay, last one. This is so hidden. No one's saying this, but we got to say it. There might be a lot more things that need to fall apart before the upgrade comes together. You might have a lot more failure in front of you before you find the win. Everybody wants I want the straight trajectory up to success and the life so good it doesn't make sense on the other side of my divorce. When you find that, let me know, because I don't think that exists. That's not how it works. Your identity, the transformation that you are experiencing, the circumstance of your divorce is irrelevant. You're shifting from all of the people pleasing and the taking what you can get and taking the high road and keeping the peace and having the audacity to go after what you want, to admit to yourself what you want, to make peace with what you want, and to not judge yourself for it, to learn how to be the version of you that's healthy and at peace and loves herself and has the success that she wants and can embrace her ambition. That version of you is not born overnight. She's born through trial and error. And the judge signing is not a magic wand that just clicks that into place. It happens over time. And the divorce is often just sort of like a domino in a string of things that you'll realize, oh, all of that had to go. And you have to give yourself the space in the room to be messy while you figure this out. Because if you want big things and you want your vision to become your reality, you have to be willing to let your current one fall apart. Otherwise, there's no space for the new thing, the new reality. Okay. So those are the hidden secrets of divorce. I don't know how many there were. I didn't count them, but those are my favorite ones. And no one's really talking about them until now. So there you go. I love that for us. People pay me not because I tell them how to do things, but because I can see patterns that other people can't see. I've got a bird's eye view, not because I've worked with so many clients, I can see patterns, but also I have an intuitive sense about transformation, identity work, manifestation that I can combine with the data. I can see things that you can't see. And that's why working with me is so effective. But in order to do that, you got to let go of someone having the magical map of exactly how you're going to get there, because it is unique to you. It's your blueprint. Nobody else has that. I don't care what they say. Nobody else has that. And if you try to follow some cookie cutter formula, you're going to get cookie cutter results, and most likely it's not going to fit you anyway. So come work with me. All right. I will be back next week. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week. And as always, feel free to reach out to me. You know where to find me. Bye. Thanks for listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast. If today's episode resonated, please take a minute and leave a review. It helps women find this work and change their lives and divorces too. For more support, be sure you follow me on Instagram at Megan Norris Coaching. That's where I share real-time strategy, perspective, and what it actually looks like day to day. And when you're ready to go deeper, join the Divorce Academy, my monthly membership for women navigating divorce with clarity, power, and community. I'll see you next week. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for legal, financial, or mental health advice. Please consult with licensed professionals as needed.